Well, this is super exciting. It looks like Redmi are coming back with a bang with their latest flagship killer, the K30 Pro. After the earlier release of the Redmi K30, which is like their mid-range phone, we've all been waiting for the real flagship killer to come, the K30 Pro. And Redmi have confirmed that this has a Snapdragon 865, that's a given. And we also know it will come with the good stuff on the inside, all the important bits, cutting back in a few areas to keep the cost down. Firstly, the fast charging speeds have been tipped from leaks in China to be roughly 22.5 watts. This is a really good spec, especially because this phone is supposed to be one of the cheapest ways you can get into the flagship Snapdragon 865. It's fast for sure, but certainly not matching up to those real flagship phones. Even Xiaomi's new flagship, the Mi 10 and Mi 10 Pro, use 30 watt and 50 watt fast wire charging. We also don't expect wireless charging to be in this phone too. It's expensive and not entirely necessary. We also know that there is a pop-up camera in this device. Redmi are keeping that pop-up design to give us a bezel-less display. I think this is a good idea. A lot of people like the bezel-less display, and it could be an overall cheaper way to implement the front camera rather than putting it in a cutout. We did also see some fan renders online of a possible design for the K30 Pro, but according to leaks and sources in China, that pop-up camera will actually be a single unit and not a double unit. But some official news today, and really out of the blue exciting news, is the addition of a brand new phone, something that we'd not even seen before, not heard of before through leaks, and that is something called the Redmi K30 Pro Zoom Edition. So this is definitely exciting, and XDA found this in the MIUI 11 code, so there's a very good chance of this coming, and the name is self-explanatory. Expect a K30 Pro, more expensive premium type of edition with this additional zoom range from the camera. So there are two ways Redmi could do this. The first is by using a Periscope zoom lens. This is becoming more and more popular in phones. We've seen Vivo implement this recently. We're going to see Oppo come out with the Find X2 Pro, which will have a Periscope zoom camera. Oppo used it last year in the Reno 10X, and of course Huawei used it in the P30 Pro. However, all of those phones are very expensive flagship phones in the Android world, and the Redmi K30 Pro isn't. So it's more likely that they're going to use the same technique that they've used on the Xiaomi Mi 10 Pro to get that longer zoom range. The Mi 10 Pro simply uses a normal camera unit for smartphones with a slightly longer optical zoom. Xiaomi in the Mi 10 Pro call this a 10 times hybrid zoom, whatever hybrid zoom is supposed to mean, but in reality it's a 3 or 4x optical zoom lens. Xiaomi then crop into the sensor a little bit and use some magic to get a longer zoom range, with what they say anywhere up to 10x zoom without any loss of quality. This is a cheaper way of getting a longer zoom range without having to use a Periscope zoom camera, because those units are quite expensive. Considering Xiaomi do this, I fully expect Redmi to do it this way too, but it's a really exciting addition to the lineup that we haven't heard of until today. We also got news from XDA about a Redmi Note 9 that will be replacing the Note 8 series, one of the best-selling series of phones in the world. And also news of something called a Redmi 10X 4G. This would be a budget device coming in, I guess, around $150 once you do the price conversion. And it's a 4G phone using one of the new 4G budget Snapdragon chipsets, possibly the Snapdragon 720. That phone will be launched around the Xiaomi Fan Festival, which is celebrating Xiaomi's 10 years in the business. So a lot going on in the world of Redmi and Xiaomi as they push forward and try and get more sales outside of China. Subscribe for all the latest tech news and videos. That's it for now, but I'll see you in the next one.